Welcome back, Shop Rats. Today we've got a big chunk of the cars out, especially out of the little garage, because we've got some building improvement projects that we need to do over there in my car shop. So it's going to be a weekend project. My buddy Chris is coming up. He'll be here a little bit later, but I'm going to go ahead and get started on tearing a wall out of the little garage so that we can reuse that material in the big garage. Don't go away. This is going to be fun. I'm Mike.
This is My Cars Shop.
When we first moved here, we had a lot more garage space than we had cars. And one of the things that we did on this side of this garage was to store all of our firewood for the winter. Well, we've since changed the way we handle our wood heat and so forth, and we don't need this spot anymore. So we've been storing two cars in here for a long time, usually the 69 Charger and the 47 Ford or the Pro Street Dart. Depends on what I'm working on over in the shop. But when we only had one car, usually it was the 47 Ford, stored over here, we were concerned, I was concerned, about firewood falling over and hitting the car because, well, it's firewood. So even though we would carefully stack, it was always a worry to me. So we went ahead and built this wall quite a few years ago now to protect the cars from getting hit. But we don't really need that anymore. And as a matter of fact, this wall is kind of a pain in the neck when you're fitting those cars in here and trying to get in and out. So we need to do some work over in the other shop up above, doing some more insulating and so forth. And I was just pulling the Charger in here a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, I got all of this material here. There's no reason we can't take this out of here and repurpose it and use it over in the main shop. So Chris will be here later, and we'll get started on the plans and the construction and so forth for that. This is going to probably be a whole weekend project because there's some wiring to be done and some other stuff over there as well. But I thought I'd get a jump on it before he gets here and get this torn out. Well, that made short work of that, so that's a good job done. I'll get these boards hauled over there and probably gonna push a little broom around in here and clean things up a little bit. And then we'll get the Charger and the 47 back in here where they belong. But that really opens things up, and it's going to be a lot nicer. Um, Not having to squeeze next to the cars with these walls in here. So the next step then is to take this over there, and we will start doing some engineering on how we're going to build the upper part of those shop walls, so that we can put more insulation in and also get things painted so that the main shop just looks a lot nicer. So we're going to run some wiring, and we got to figure out a place we're going to put our TV. And I don't know if this is going to be enough lumber to do it all, but we're going to do what we can with what we have, and we'll go from there. So don't go away. We tore down a wall, and we cleaned and we broomed, and good enough. I'll not this year, but maybe next year we'll get a power washer, get our power washer. We have one, we just never use it, and just power wash all this down and get it cleaned up a little bit better. It would be really nice to replace those sliding doors with some overhead doors and make it a more usable garage. But right now, this is what we have, and it's the way it is, and the budget doesn't allow for such things. But I'll keep my eyes open for some garage doors, and maybe we'll find some success. At some point, I'd like to get another building built and have a little bit more room, and then Becky could actually park her car in here once we get a nice overhead door. But we're very blessed to have this little extra storage building here and be able to keep the 47 and the 69 over here out of the weather and protected. So it's all good. All right. I got a big, huge pile of crap in the back of the truck I need to deal with, and then we will be over there and I'll show you what we're going to do. Moved in here, none of these, the walls were here, but the walls weren't here. So all of these painted white walls are 2x4 stud walls with rolled insulation in them. And I never finished going all the way up, and we lose a tremendous amount of heat up there. So the plan is to take the materials from those walls over there and continue on with our 2-foot center studs. Although I think these are, I may have done these on 16 centers, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, continue down on 2-foot centers and just put some wallboard up there, the chipboard that was over there, and paint it white and fill in and just use the material we have, get as far as we can for now. I might have one more sheet upstairs I have to look, but we'll get done what we can. I don't know that we're going to be able to get it all done, but it'll be a big step forward in helping prevent heat loss here in the shop through the winter. Chris arrived and immediately we've dived in. We got right after it, and I can't slow him down, so I didn't even bother putting a microphone on him. But we're pulling the lights down right now so that we can make room to put the 2x4 studs up there to get that insulation and so forth in. So we had a big curtain rod up here from a former person who lived here, and we took that down, and we're going to repurpose that for some 220 lines, but we got this nice 1-inch conduit here to reuse, and of course we'll that crappy bend out of there and do it right. But so yeah, he's been here a couple hours now, and of course we've been yakking like a couple old ladies, so we're still catching up because we haven't seen each other for a while. Well, we did a little something
there. At least we got some light back here.
right. See, this is what's the benefit of having a buddy who's an electrician, so it's all good. Yeah, so that's going to be nice, and we can put more in here than we want, but I've never had a light back here in the 15 years we've been here, so the only downside to that is Scoops is going to be sitting there for the winter, so
yeah.
But I really do want to have it. Either we'll put a second one over here probably eventually, or
Most of these typically have an outlet on the end.
these are cheap
No.
Wally World
Okay.
ones. So
Yeah. Well, we come up with some way of connecting it and put
Yeah.
a second light up here.
now we can just run another cord over. But the nice thing for that too is with that outlet there now, I can run a battery charger back here.
Yep.
So
Or a power tool or
yeah,
whatever.
right. Yeah. But generally I got to charge the car after it sits all winter. So.
That's one of the reasons I like putting those things in. There's so many other things you can do with those. Just having 120 volt power there,
Exactly.
ground, neutral, the whole 9 yards. Not just a 2-prong, but a real 3-prong. You can
Right.
come back here and plug in a battery charger or a drill or something to do quick work.
Right.
And these LEDs don't draw much, so you can have a bunch of them strung together. And so long as you're not trying to weld off the far end of it, you can always just run a drill on one end of it for temporary.
Well, my ultimate goal is this is going to be my metal fabrication shop and machine shop. So the lathe, the mill, the drill press, all that stuff will be back here eventually.
You're going to need a pretty good circuit feeding this.
Yeah, but
Or
for
two.
now, I mean, that's going to be down the road because I have to have another new building to put all the cars in. So for now, it stores cars and parts.
Yeah.
Well, we're starting to get our studs in. That's progress. It's nice to be able to repurpose what we already had, not have to buy anything. We did find a couple more 2x4s upstairs, and we haven't even really looked yet. So
That's 51 and, geez, how tight we want to get here. 51 and 3/8 with no angle on it ought to just knock right in there.
okay.
Unfortunately, at this distance, it's kind of hard to see the bandage I have on my finger.
He didn't get himself with anything except the tape measure.
Let me get the lay. That was. Let me take that measurement again.
It is day 2, and we're back at it. We had a busy morning with a bunch of activity, but we're back out here now trying to get this done. We picked up some more board and some more insulation, so we should be good to go. I would think in a few hours time here, we will have things buttoned right along. So I obviously need to put the camera down, and Chris will throw me dimensions, and I will start cutting wood, and we will get this banged together really quickly. We're making slow but sure progress. We keep getting rabbit holes, but
we got the stop on the lathe.
yeah, that's
redone.
true. Chris was on the phone with his wife and discovered the stop on the lathe was seized up, so we fixed that. But that was a little rabbit hole. But that's kind of what happens around here. So, well, we did do one other little project I thought we'd show you, and it's a little dim in here right now. So we thought we'd go ahead and remedy that for you guys. What a difference that makes.
And that's just one of the ones we're going to put up.
Yes, and we have 3 more to put up, right?
Yep.
Yeah, not 3 like that, but that's going to make a huge difference. We're thinking we're not putting the lights back up on the side here at this point. We think lights overhead make a lot more sense.
Well, it does cast a lot more light down instead of
Yes.
pushing it from the side.
Yep, we're not doing, this isn't a body shop on this side anyway, but I'm actually noticing, Chris, that the room feels way taller now than it did.
Well, you can see a lot more. And having the fan here to get to push the warm air down out of the high bay here, plus all the light, we're going to put one more up there and one more over there. I moved this over and put one of the big ones there. That'll be a lot of light in here.
Yeah. I think I want to leave that one where it is and just put one next to it.
Okay.
Because that's where I build engines, and I wanted that one specifically there. But
And then this one over here, if we swap that out with one of the extra new ones,
right.
that'll get a lot more light because there's 2 bulbs out of that right now.
Yeah, one of the ballasts is shot. And that's part of the process here is eliminating all of these ones that I've converted from the old style to get rid of these ballasts that chew up so much electricity. So
Yeah. And the LEDs don't have
right.
but a tenth of the draw. And
Right. Yeah, these are LED bulbs, but they're in a traditional.
And the ones that we had up here, we might be able to stick those there and there, especially if we're doing outlets in this area for those specifically.
That's true. Yeah.
We could get a wash of light from there and a wash of light from up above.
There's already one over there that's just not turned on right now.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah, actually, that's a better spot to put them now that you're pointing that out.
Right.
Because we could hang the others right here and right here, get rid of that one.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, and then we get it down below the garage door then.
And they'd be switchable.
Yep. Getting some of these lights that were on the south wall cleaned up to put on the north stud or the north beam, I guess, and wiped them down. But I'm going to hit them with this because it's super fast, it's super easy, and it is super clean. Nice. So just so you can see how good this stuff is, we sprayed it down, we wiped it, and this part down here I haven't wiped yet. That's how dirty this was, and that's how nice a job it does. So, I wouldn't stand behind this product if I didn't believe in it, that's for sure, and I absolutely believe in it.
Didn't need that screw anyway.
Oh, yeah, we're feeling like a couple of old farts. Lots done. Just finishing that up over there, and then we'll start stringing insulation in there. Chris is looking for his mind right now. He lost it. And then over here, I got that light put up there. That was the one that was over here, and that light put up there that was over here. And then we're going to take that one down and get rid of it. So these don't have ballasts in them. They just have little electronic circuits for the fluorescence. So they're very low power. I also put boxes up, so we're going to run lines to plug those lights into. There'll be one next to that one also. And so this light, and this light will be on the circuit that one is, which is all isolated and only one outlet over there. So that'll break up the power usage over here some, and that'll be good. Making good progress. Getting some insulation going. Should be some board going up soon. Between things, I replaced the light back there, and then they plug in, so we have another light to go next to it, and that'll plug into that one, so that'll be good. All of our boxes are up next to these lights, if I didn't already say that, but we should be putting something up real soon. Hold on, Chris has something to say.
I just figured out a problem. I can't work in this bay with my ladder in this bay, so I'm going to always have to work either one way or the other.
I don't see why you can't just roll the insulation up and then just real quickly bounce the ladder out.
Yeah, and staple it in place. And the problem is keeping it from punching through the insulation while I'm trying to take the ladder down. Yeah, that draws right in.
Good.
Nice and tight.
Very good.
Good and tight.
That was a job, get that up there. We didn't film any of that in case there was bloodshed, but
yeah, that landed nicely, and it's up there, and now we've got some place to put our ladder to do the rest of them and do the rest of the insulation. But yeah, that's the big piece, and the rest of it, we'll have to do a bunch of measuring and cutting, but the rest of these, anything after this is smaller than this, so it'll be a lot lighter weight.
Yeah, and like I said, if we don't have enough time to get the peaks done, I'm fine with that for now. You know, I can get up there and get those done later. So
yeah, and they're small pieces, and they're just scab pieces. So it's length and height and cut a taper. That'll be a lot of cutting and fitting, but it'll be easier. But I'm glad that's all insulated, and we had to, right in this center section, there was a bit of gaposis here, so we filled that in with the expanding foam.
Yes.
We had to push the insulation over in order to get it to span the distance. And this will give everything behind there a nice, lots of insulation behind there.
Definitely.
Yeah, that'll make a difference in the wintertime. The only other thing we have to do, I think, is really above the door.
Yeah, we didn't get that done before, and I'm still pondering what I want to do there.
I'm thinking that 4-inch styrofoam and cut it to width and fit it up in there with some long screws like you did up. These are nails, but
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is like we did over on the body shop side, and just put some 4x8 sheets up there. But not this year. That ain't gonna happen this year.
Yeah.
More progress. We're getting pretty dog tired though.
Well, we got two more 4-foot sections, and yeah, it's coming close.
I'm just wondering if we stop at that point and get these lights done. I can finish that up myself, just working off the workbench.
Yeah, I suppose there's enough room over here. You can do a ladder without having to reach over all of this stuff.
Exactly. The higher stuff I don't do well at because of my vertigo, but
and
looking really good though.
Well, you can almost hear a difference just in the sound pressure up here from the wind outside the barn, and yeah, you can hear the wind over there now, but you can't hear it over here. I put my driver. Oh, there it is.
I'd make a reference to Baby Driver, but very few people would know what that's a reference to.
I don't know that I know it. Aaron Elkhort, and it's a movie anyway, isn't it?
Well, that's not what my reference is for, though. Scott will know, but he probably won't watch. We'll find out.
Okay.
He says he watches. We'll find out whether he's lying or not.
Animal, what's the reference?
Okay, people, anybody that knows the reference, drop it down there in the comments. You may win something. You may not. You never know around here. Let there be light. And there was light.
And it was good. And he also, I think, said let there be insulation and wallboard and lots of drywall screws, and there's a couple more lights. We can tag those in even temporarily till we can run the line along there.
Okay. I can catch those. That's fine.
Okay.
We still got to go make supper, and
Yeah. And at some point in the future, I'll need you to babysit again, so I'll
Right.
come up and you can keep me out of trouble, and we can do lots of outlets. And that's a shame we didn't get to the others, but that's what we did was a lot of work. And
yeah, we always try to bite off more than we can chew. So
well, if we ever, if this turned out to be stupid simple and easy, and we were
Right.
done in 3 hours, then we'd have other things to work on. Just means I got to reload all that pile of wire and outlet boxes and conduit fittings and contactors and relays, and
he always comes equipped.
always come with one extra project, something else we can get done if we have the time. But yeah, that's a lot brighter in here.
It is. Makes the body shop side seem dim.
Yeah, and I can keep an eye out for another ceiling fan, maybe shorter blade so I can go higher speed, something with a couple 3 or 4 lights in it.
Do you want to take the one that I got those blades off of and test it and see if it's good? Next
Sure.
time you come, we can just swap it.
Yeah, I can check it out. And
Welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe. We're building a super secret, top secret, highly
Real
classified 512.
Hold on a second. We'll. Yeah, so we didn't get everything done up here. I still have painting to do, and I've got a little more construction work to do down there. Can't make my arm move the way it needs to. But I did get a bunch of other stuff done today. I had a whole bunch of, I had a trailer load of parts show up today, and so we had to get that put up in the warehouse and stuff. But I did get all the lights. That one still needs to come down, but it's there. I'm going to leave it for now. I did get all the lights hooked up here. I did get a light hooked up under there. Obviously, I got the TV hooked up. I don't have a Wi-Fi network out here yet, so I can't Apple Cast to the TV, and I don't have internet out here. So right now I can use my phone as a hotspot through my Fire Stick and get watch my YouTube buddies and stuff like that. So that's great. I'm whipped. I was hoping to be, more of this done, but I think we're going to just make this part 1, and there'll be a part 2 when I finish that and get that done. And there's some other stuff also. But yeah, it's been a great weekend. It's been a busy weekend, that's for sure. I'm really excited to have this moving forward. Finally get that TV up where I want it and make it usable. I'm going to drop a VGA cable down off from up there also, so that I can plug it into my laptop and cast stuff up there like that as well. I have no intention of putting internet out here. I've buried cable out here before, and I could have thrown a Cat 6 or a variable Cat 5 in there, but maybe someday. But right now it's not important. I'm just trying to, in some ways, keep this simple out here, and casting from my phone is a great way to do that. So I think that'll accomplish what I want. So if I need to look something up, or if I want to cast YouTube channels while I'm working out here doing stuff, that's probably a decent way to go. So that'll do it for this one. I really appreciate you being here. I did turn that light out because it kind of puts a little bit of a glare on the TV, but not a big deal. And it sure adds a lot of light when you fire that baby up wherever it is. I don't know. There it is. Ooh, yeah, try not to make you sick. So you can see I get a glare on the TV there. So that one needs to be turned out. But otherwise, everything's good. I was going to buy a mount for the TV up there, and I realized that shelf, I can stand on it. It sure can handle a TV. I should have put it up there when Chris was here. That pot liquor was heavy, but I got it. I'm a little bit stiff and sore. That's okay. All right, that'll do it for this one. We will catch you on the next one. I appreciate you being here, and don't forget, it's important.
Rock!